Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Hope you are in the midst of some fabulous New Year celebrations somehow. Anyway, we are going to be having a look at a puzzle from a debut constructor today. Russian singer hasn't appeared on the channel before and does today. Fog of War, but we get given digits, so we'll look at this in a moment. I think there are fairly standard rules, not quite actually. Anyway, we'll look at that in a moment. Don't forget that January the 1st, the launch date of the Hobbit, Blobs' masterwork, 19 brilliant Hobbit-based puzzles, taking the Hobbit on his journey, along with J.R.R. Tolkien. And of course the crew. Yeah, it's really good fun to solve those puzzles. They carry over a digit or two from each puzzle to the next, and it's a wonderful chain of events, frankly. Give it a try. That's on our Patreon site, where you can also see Long Solves by Simon, crossword videos by me, connections, and there are many other things that get posted to Patreon, solution videos of previous months, hunts, that sort of thing. Check it out on Patreon. There's also, of course, our apps, which finally feature Fog of War. They also have Domino Sudoku and Line Sudoku, but Fog of War is our latest app, so more puzzles of this style if you like it, and very reasonable cost and recently updated. Fog of War, yeah, that's the apps. There's also SVEN'S SUDOku PAD and our merchandise linked under the grid. Under the grid? Well, it is under the grid in the description field. But do check it out. So, the first link, however, is to this puzzle, so you can play it yourself in our software. Drunken Fish by Russian Singer. And I shall now read you the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, so we're putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits in a cage sum to the total in the leftmost cell of the top row. So the cages will have totals in. There's a cage that starts here that adds up to 36. Digits cannot repeat in a cage. Oh, cells that are a chess king's move apart must not contain the same number. And I go digging for my Kingy well, somebody came up with a better name for him, something like Kingly McRoyal or something. Anyway, there he is. He is going to sit there, and when I get completely stuck in the puzzle, he's going to shout at me that I've forgotten the king's move constraint, which means that cells diagonally touching can't share the same number, basically. That's the only addition to the normal Sudoku rules. Now, adjacent digits on a green line must have a difference of at least 5. Digits along thermometers strictly increase from the bulb. I was going to say we don't see any thermometers, but I'm wondering if in the bottom right corner of the cell in the middle of here, is that a bit of thermometer? I think it probably is. I hope that's not essential for the solve, because Specsavers will be in business. Digits separated by a black dot have a 1 to 2 ratio, so one of them's double the other. And that's it. The fog will get cleared. This is not dynamic fog, this is ordinary fog. As you place a correct digit, apart from the ones that are already given, it will clear fog around it. Give it a try. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, the great thing with Fog of War puzzles is they're fairly linear. They tell you where to look because there's so little else to look at. So we've got a whisper line that's at least 3 cells there. That is not very helpful. I think this is going to have to be the area where we get the most help. This is not helpful because this cage cell could have, well, it could have a start anywhere up there. It doesn't necessarily have to be in the 36 cage. I really think we're going to have to start here. Now, we sometimes preach that a sequence of black dots has to be 1, 2, 4 or 2, 4, 8. That is not necessarily the case here, because these digits could be repeats of each other, and that means this could be 363 or 636. I am now very puzzled as to how we're meant to start at all. Surely we're not meant to be using this bit of thermo between that cell and that cell that I can just see. Okay, I'm going to go, I don't know, I really don't know. I mean, I could pencil mark this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. I could pencil mark this as 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. And none of that is going to be very helpful as far as I can guess at the moment. So I'm going to go back to this 36, which has got a 9 in it. Okay, how big is the cage that is a 36 cage with a 9 in? The answer's quite interesting because it can no longer be 8 cells big, because it would have to be 8 different digits, and the 8 different digits that add up to 36 are 1 to 8, and they don't include 9. So once 9's in the cage, this cage can only be 7 large at its max. And the digits it's missing add up to 9 because of the secret. 45 is the sum of all the digits from 1 to 9, so the ones missing from this cage add up to 9. I don't know, I mean, okay, so I can tell this cage is no bigger than 7 cells. Right, I really do not know how to start. I'm feeling very, very baffled. Okay, here's the first thought. I didn't tell you the things I know about German whispers. I told you that that cell could be 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 or 9, and that's because of one of the things I know. One of the things I know, and possibly the most important thing in this puzzle, is that 5 can't go on a German whisper. So, it also can't go on a black dot, because in neither case is there a digit it can sit next to. So one of those 2 cells in this box is a 5, because those are on the whisper, that's on the black dot. And there's a king's move constraint. There it is. That's how we start. That's a 5. Oh dear. I mean, maybe I am drunken, but that took me a long while, didn't it? 3 minutes to get that fairly straightforward deduction. Okay, now we get to see this thermo properly. That is a 3. So this has become 8 or 9. This is a low digit. This is a high digit. 8 or 9 again. They're the only digits that can board a 3. Now, that's the end of the thermo. And there's a cage here which can't have any repeat digits in it. I'm starting to wonder where the 3 goes in the box, but... Or do I try analysing where the 9 goes in the box? No, I don't think so, not yet. It's going to be something as blindingly obvious as that 5 thing, and maybe involving the king's move. Although I don't see how that can have any relevance to what we've just revealed. Oh, the king's move does say that this is a sequence, and that those 2 digits can't be the same. There we go. So as soon as I got him out, I forgot all about him, didn't I? And this now can't be a 3-6 pair, because those would both have to be 6. And that breaks the king's move rule. So this is now a 1-2-4 or a 2-4-8 sequence. This digit is 8, 4 or 2. I will not allow it to be 1 because it has a number smaller than itself on the thermo. So there's definitely a 4 in one of those cells, because they're made up from 2, 4 and 8. These are different from each other. They also see that. I'm just wondering what effect that has on this. If that was a 2, this would be 4, that would be 8. That would have to be 1. If that was 4, this would be 2. And that would have to be 1 again. So the only way to potentially prevent this being a 1 is if that's 8, 4, 2. If that's 8, this is 9 and that's 9. King's move, I'm remembering it now. Yeah, okay, I don't know quite what to do. The king's move didn't affect the things I was thinking about up here, which didn't really go very far. I don't think it did. Okay, there's a 4 in one of those cells. That is not necessarily an 8-9 pair. They could be the same digit. Where do we go next? Now, if this one takes as long as the last move took, it's going to be a little embarrassing in a way. Oh, that can't be 3. That's very obvious. If that was 4, That would be 9. That would be 4. Ah. If this was 4, this would be a 2-8 pair, and they'd both be looking at that cell. Well, in different ways. One by the king's move, if you like, or by the thermo, and one directly. So if that was a 4, this would have to be a 9. If that was a 4, this would have to be a 9. And that's by the whisper technology. Oh, this digit is 1, 2, or 4. It could be the final. The only way it's a 4 is if the whisper ends there. Six and 7 are totally unplaced here. I can't see my way through this. As far as I can see at the moment, this could be 6 or 7. There's no difficulty with that. Is it about where 3 goes here? I've got all of those cells available. For 9, I've got all of those available. Okay, what about if this was 2? That would be a 1-4 pair. I don't know, I don't think that does as much. If that was 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I said this. If this was 4, one of those is an 8 and that's a 9. If that's a 2, that's definitely a 4. And that's a 1. If that's a 2, so this can never be a 4 up here. I didn't know that before. It's true though. Okay, this pair is either 1-4 or 2-8. No, I was going to say, is there definitely a 2 on this black dot now? I don't think there is. This cage, okay, it's at least 5 cells. But I don't know any more about it. Am I meant to be able to use these other cages? I find them very difficult to see what they're telling me. Again, it's not the king's move, is it? One, 2, 4 would make that 1 or 2. Would stop that being a 2. I cannot see where we're meant to get the information to continue. King's move, that can't be a 5. So 5's in one of those 3 cells. I'm really quite at a loss here. One of these is a 9. If it's not there, for this to be an 8, what happens? For this to be an 8, that's a 1 or a 2. This is a 2-4 pair, and that's a 1. This must go 1, 2, 4. For that to be an 8, this goes 1, 2, 4. And that has no possible fill. Good grief. If this was an 8, look at this. That can't be an 8. And that can't be. So if this is an 8, neither of those can be an 8. And they must be a 1-4 pair with a 2 here. Now we've got 1, 2, and 4, looking, including the king's move, with 3 and 5 at that digit, which would have to be less than 4. Wow. Okay, that is not an 8. That took a long time to see. That is a 9. This cannot be a 4. It's got too many branches. This is a 45 cage, and we know its exact shape because of the number being in the top left, the leftmost cell of the top row. So these two are high digits, 6, 7, or 8. These 2 digits appear in these 2 cells, because they have to be in row 9 somewhere and they can't be in the same cage. That 9, one of these 2 is a 9 therefore. What does that do? Not sure. 6, 7, So 3 is now in one of those 3. 5 is in one of those 2 using the king's move. And one of these 3. I haven't resolved that this... So let's think again. If that was 1, 2, 4, this is impossible. So that is not a 1. This either goes 8, 4, 2 or 2, 4, 8. That is not a 4 now. Oh, so that is always a 4 now. Gosh. I mean, it's so clear when you get it. Now that can't be a 2 because that could be a 1, but you couldn't get a smaller number. Ah, dear. Not on top solving form today. Never mind. That 8 makes this a 9. Oh, that's an even digit, but we know it's got to be that digit, so they're both 6s. Now that's a 1. Oh, what's the red circle? Cells with a circle contain an odd digit, I suppose. 6, 9, 1, 4, 5. One of these 2 is a 4. 8, 5, 3, 9, 6. Okay. What's the red line? I don't know if we were told about a red line. That's quite strange. This is an odd digit. And it's also in the middle of a green line, which is why I know it's from 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. So it's 3, 7 or 9. It can't be 7 because its 2 flanks would be 2 and 1, and 2's already gone in the box. So that's either a 3, in which case that's a 9 and that's an 8. So 9 is now, or it's a 9. So 9 is in one of those 2 cells. Along with 3 or 4, because that's all it can be next to in this box in those positions. If that's a 3, this is an 8. If it's a 9, this is 1, 3 or 4. This thermo is creeping towards its origin. Yeah, we can't have a 2 or a 3 or a 5 in either of these cells. So I think they're from 6, 7, 6, 4, and then this is smaller than that. So this is 1, 3 or 5, and is another odd digit. I don't know if I've missed anything there. 1, 2, 4, 7. 4's in one of those. These are from 1, 2, 7. Oh, this green line carries on to a 2 or a 4 here, not a 5. Oh, it can't be a 4 because that's not a 9, so that's a definite 2. Then it carries on again to a 7 or an 8. Then it carries on again to a 1 or a 3. That one sees 2 and 4. What is this red line? I did not see a rule about a red line. That's very strange. Are we going to find out what that is? 6, 9, 4, 1. Okay, 2 is in one of those 2 cells by Sudoku. No, King's Move, in fact, puts it in the circle. Well, there is a grey circle here, and that is the sort of circle I was expecting to contain odd digits. It looks like by King's Move, this has to be a 2, and it's cleared fog, so that's right. I don't know what these red markings are doing. We're just ignoring them for now. Strange, isn't it? Might have to put a note on it that you can ignore red markings if that remains the case. 1 7 pair looking at that cell. That's a 3. That has to be next to 8 on the line. That's now 3. I've got 1 7 there. 1 7 8 3 2. This is a 6 9 pair. That's a 4 5 pair. That's 7 or 8, and we can place 5 here. And we've made some progress now in this puzzle. Right. And this green line is just carrying on. That's an 8 or a 9. This is low. I'm not going to rule out 4 because that could connect 2 9s in those positions. This is high and is a 9. That is low and is not a 9. This is high and can only be 8 or 9 and must be 8, which must sit next to 3 That doesn't travel back on the line. This is low and must be 2 now. Ah, this thermo is insanely long. That's very unexpected to me. I did not think of it as a 9-cell potential thermo. That's quite funny. Right, 7 on the king's move fixes that. 3592, that's now a 4, so that is sitting next to 9, and that's the green line. No, nearly fully done, not quite fully done. 8 in the central column is there. 7 and 4 go in. 6 and 5. That's 7 or 8, so this is a definite 6. We'll look at that cage in a moment. That is 1. Yeah, that's... Oh no, hang on. That's 7. Yeah, that's 1. That does work, thank goodness. Thought it had all gone wrong. 8 there. Okay, that's now a 6. That's a 9. I wonder what the red lines mean. I don't know, maybe it's just a mystery. That is not allowed to be a 1 by the king's move. That is a naked 1 by Sudoku. Sees all the other digits in its row and column in this case. Now, let's have a look at this cage which disappears into the fog. Can it just be 2 more digits? I think the answer is no, because we've only got up to 16. If it was just 2 more digits, they would have to add up to 20. That's not possible. So it does go up to there, and therefore it goes up to here as well, and that is the limit of the cage. The digits missing from it are 2 digits adding up to 9. They're not 1, 8, and they're not 6, 3. So they're 2, 7, and 5, 4. What that means is that 3 and 8 are in the cage, and the 8 must be there, and the 3 must be there. This is either a 2, 7 pair or a 4, 5 pair. These haven't been resolved yet. Okay, so this row, that's a 3. Oh no, I can do 1 and 6 thanks to the king's move. There's a 7 in one of these cells. It could be in the cage. That still hasn't been resolved because I don't know what this red line means. I don't think it means anything to us. That's a naked 5. It sees everything else, and it's row and column again. Don't even need the box. Now, I think I said that this was either a 2, 7 or a 4, 5 pair, and now it can't be a 4, 5 pair. So that is a 2, 7 pair like that. 1, 3, 8. That is 4 or 5. The 6 and 9 in this column go at the top. 4, 1, no, I don't know. That's become a 2. That is how we get on. Now, 1, 4 and 2. That has to be a 4. It sees the 2 on the king's move. 2 and 1 there. 8 and 4. First of all, I do 4, 2. Then I do 4, 8. Now, 5, 7, 6 here. I can do the lot. That clears all the fog and reveals nothing more. 9, 8, 3. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spot. Light losing its religion. 7 and a 4 there. That 7 fixes 7 and 1 down here. That's become a 5. That's a 4. That's a 5. 2 and a 3. And that finishes the puzzle. Now, will we learn something from the message? No. Okay, I'm going to guess absolutely randomly that the red circles and line are the birth date of the constructor, the 6th of February 1973. I haven't really got a clue. I will put in a note in the description field that the red markings can be ignored, because those red circles did not contain odd digits, you will notice. We've almost, actually, let's just get rid of my colouring. We've almost got a sort of picture in the grid of a pair of bagpipes or a kidney or someone sitting in a chair, in a rocking chair. I don't know. Anyway, it was good fun. Thank you to Russian Singer for sending us Drunken Fish. And we'll be back with Drunken Fish. Oh, okay. It could be a fish tipped over on its side, or a, well, kind of whale-shaped fish. I know a whale is not fish. We will see you again soon on the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.